Hey y'all, good morning. Welcome to Cece's Texas Garden. My voice this morning, sound very raspy. I am up early. I have traveled just an hour or so. I am at a school in DEERPARK, Texas, and they are having a class today. Well, they're not having a class today. There's a class that's going to be happening at the, it's a Prairie or something around here. But anyway, I'm here for a water, conservative water barreling class. So, what they're going to do is give us free water barrel to collect our water. They're going to give us the spigot and the little connector part we need, and it is it's first come first serve on the size that you get, because they got from 30 to 55 gallon. I'm hoping my car fit the 55 gallon. If I have to like pull up like this and drive like driving Miss Daisy, I want a 55 up in here. So yeah, it's a couple vehicles here, and they said park on the side by the school, so I'm assuming I'm in the right place. But this is gonna be neat. So they're going to, first we're gonna get our barrels, and then we're gonna have a class about how we do our barrels, and then we're gonna take a walk through the reserve or whatever. This through Gulf Coast, but they're having it here closer in town instead of us going out to Kemah way, which I wouldn't mind going to Kemah, but this early, nah. I don't think I want to drive that far this early. But anyway, I'm here. I know that a couple of YouTubers supposed to be here this morning. I need to call and see where they at on this route. We got like 30 minutes before it starts. These people are going inside there. I don't know if they're supposed to go inside there. I don't know. Those might be cleaning people. Anyway, I'm here, and there's other cars here, so I'm hoping I'm in the right spot. So yeah, some other YouTubers are coming. I don't want to say who it is, just in case somebody don't come or whatever. I see some people going into the school. I don't know if we can go into the school or not. I thought they said on the side of the school, but we'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna take y'all along, take y'all to the class with me, and I hope you enjoy it. If you haven't subscribed to Cece's Texas Garden, go ahead and do that. I mean, because we always doing something. This is 2026. I have many plans that I don't know of yet, but we're going to do a lot of stuff this year. So you don't want to miss anything. Make sure that you have subscribed. Make sure your notifications are on all. Don't have it on personal or, you know, the other thing. Click that highest button that says off. You know, anytime that I come live, that I'm going somewhere doing something, that you won't miss anything, okay? And also, we're getting ready for my 3-year anniversary. and you want to be a part of that, and you must be a subscriber, because it's going to be only subscriber mode only for that live. So you don't want to miss that. So make sure that you are clicked on as a subscriber. So I will get back with y'all when we get started, okay?
Alright, is everybody ready? Can all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So, I'm going to start by asking how many of you have a rain barrel already, or some kind of water harvesting device?
Yeah,
Okay,
buckets and
so just a handful.
That's
Okay,
right,
awesome.
trash
No,
can.
That's great. It's awesome to see so many new faces. That's super exciting. So today, everybody got some version of a kit, whether that is for a gutter installation, so that's when you drill into your downspout, you install some tubes, and then attach them to your barrel, or for a freestanding barrel kit, which is the ones that just came with the spigots here. And there's lots of different options for how you can set those up, but those are for instances where you don't want to alter a building, or you have a garden or something far away from your house and you'd rather have the barrel closer to that. It's a fully freestanding option. So I'm going to go over both options today, but just for the sake of everybody, I'm going to go over how to do the install with the gutter kit, and then go over all of the different options that you have with your freestanding kit. So before we get started, a few things that everybody should know about their barrel. If you've got a blue one, that means that no light can get into it, so you don't need to sand or paint it. You can leave it as is. Obviously, you're welcome to decorate it however you like, but you do not need to. For the clear barrels, those larger ones that we have, those do need to be sanded and painted. And that's because sun can get into them, and they will start growing algae, and it'll corrode all of the hardware that you put into your barrel, and we have to replace things a lot quicker. It can clog things up. It's just a real mess. It's hard to clean up. You don't want algae in your barrel. So don't let the sanding and painting scare you. It's really easy. You can get any kind of sandpaper you have, just rough it up a little bit. You don't need to be super intense about it, and use any outdoor spray paint. That'll work just fine. I highly recommend that you do not use house paint. That will often peel off in sheets, and that really, really sucks to have in your yard. You don't want a bunch of paint chips in the yard. So yeah, does everybody feel good about the sanding and painting of the white barrels?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not too scary. Doesn't take too long. Something that you can get a neighborhood kid to do. It'd be super easy.
If I was going to paint the blue barrel, I would need to sand it out as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you did want to paint the blue barrels, give them another, just a quick sand. And people do all kinds of cool stuff with decorating their barrels. There's lots of different inspiration online. I've seen some really beautiful rain barrels. Stuff that I was talking about earlier. We recommend that you use some kind of silicone sealant. You can get this at your local hardware store. It shouldn't cost you more than $10. And this is just, you just put a little bit around the gasket and then stick it into the hole that you drilled. And you'll want to do the same thing when you add your tube into these gaskets. And that's just going to keep it, it's going to make it last longer.
Would plumber's putty work okay?
Probably, yeah. It depends. You want to make sure that it's good for outdoor use. So that's kind of like that big thing. If a plumber would use it on any of those outdoor drainage pipes that are coming from like your AC or something, then it's probably fine. But you just want to make sure that it's good in the weather. So something like this is great. Makes it last a long time. And when it does start to break down and degrade, you can just re-putty it, and it's really easy. So.
The same thing around the one, sealant around the one that goes on the gutter setup, with that one?
Yes, yeah. You would put a little bit on these top parts right here, but also these have screw holes. So that's thank you for asking that, because yes, these do have screw holes, so that you can screw them into your gutter. But you just want to make sure that you're getting like a good grip with the screw, just because the gutter material is so thin. So just make sure that you are using the right screw for the job. Pretty much any screw will work. You just don't want something that's super long. Just make sure that's wide enough.
Use a sheet metal screw, wouldn't you? Use a sheet metal screw, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that'd be good. If you have a plastic gutter, then you could use something like just a normal screw. yeah, sheet metal screws, good point. And kind of the last thing, this applies to both barrels, but a lot of barrels are gonna have holes in the top of them. So you might have noticed that a lot of your barrels that you got today don't have the caps in these holes right here, which is a good thing. It's good to have aeration in that water, but you don't want animals to get in there. So, because once they get in, it's very hard for them to get out. So you want to cover it in some way, whether you use some kind of like coated like netting like this, or I've seen people use like nylon hoses, like, you know, and those try-on socks that you get at the shoe store. I've seen people use those. Or you could use those like the mesh strainers that you put in the sink at your house.
Not stainless steel screen to
Yeah.
keep out mosquitoes.
That works. Yeah, chicken wire, anything like that. Just something that is small enough to keep any like small animals out of it, because that's not fun to deal with. And then kind of another thing, because you just asked about mosquitoes, we also recommend that you use some sort of mosquito protection in your barrel. Obviously that's completely up to you, but we have these mosquito dunks that we like to use, and these are used in greenhouses. They're used all over the place around plants, so they should not affect your gardens or your food at all, but always be on the safe side. Read the ingredients in these, make sure that you're getting something that you feel good about. But dropping one of these into your rain barrel once every few months is going to keep those mosquitoes from being able to lay eggs in there.
And what is that called there?
These are called mosquito dunks, but they also come in bits, so you could get them. They're like the size of like bacon bits, and you can just sprinkle them over the top there. There's lots of different options for this kind of thing. But, yeah. And then obviously we just have a couple examples of sandpaper and outdoor paint, but this is up to your discretion. Anything lying around your house will work for the sandpaper, but you just want to make sure you have some outdoor safe paint that's not going to peel off or let the moisture get to it or anything like that.
All right, guys, it's pretty windy out here. We're getting ready to go and do a tour of the prairie, and so they have the little rain barrels all in there. These are the 35 pound rain barrels, and they also have 55 rain barrels. All right, guys, so this is the prairie area we're gonna walk out to, and it's right next to the school, and I guess they got a little walkway that you just walk it, and of course we had our cold weather, so it's not really showing anything, so I'm sure a lot of wildlife and things will be out here. Let's read this. Memorial Park walk. There. See that? So yeah, so this is from the prairies. Say right behind the school.
So just a couple things about the prairie today. This was acquired by the Native Prairies Association of Texas a few years ago after a long time of fundraising with multiple different groups to try to save this property. It was held by like a private homeowner who owned this house as well. And this is actually one of the last types of this prairie in Texas. There's only a handful of them left of this subtype of prairie, and this is one of them. So there's lots of really interesting different plants and animals out here, and that all the combos of all of that gives it the subtype that it is, that makes it so rare. And unfortunately, as you can see, a lot of it has been mowed down recently, but that is a great part of keeping up with a prairie landscape. Many prairies usually have natural fires, since that obviously shouldn't happen in the neighborhood. One of the ways to kind of replicate that is by mowing it down when it would usually be fired down. So this is something that they do whenever the plants get dormant, and it helps give them time to really root down and put a lot more energy into those parts of their bodies before they start to bloom again in a couple of months.
Where's another similar prairie?
Isn't there one in Katy?
I don't know
What
where.
about around San Jacinto Monument?
I don't think so. Yeah, I'm not a prairie expert. Let me just say that. I'm saying this from what I've heard our friend Colin say, who is a prairie expert. But I think you're right that Katie has a lot of different examples and different types of prairies, and they have some great like prairie refuges out there that are really nice. Yeah. Okay. So we'll go ahead and just take a walk. It's all raised up, which is really nice. See if we see anything. And then the roots will go underground and shoot back up, another foot away or something like that. And this,
Are there possibly critters hiding under this?
No, absolutely.
yes, yeah. So this part of the life cycle of the prairie is really important because of all of this dead grass that gets used for a lot of nesting, a lot of hiding species use this kind of material. And so it still acts as habitat for a lot of different animals that are in this area, even though it maybe isn't as pleasing to the eye.
Which mode is it? Just left where it's cut down, or is it collected?
Yeah, it just gets left. Yeah. Yeah. In special situations, like if they're planting a tree or something, they might